John Kavanagh wants a trilogy fight with Nate Diaz on St. Patrick's Day for Conor McGregor's UFC return. UFC star Tony Ferguson's insane training includes tying himself to a house. The SBG head coach believes Diaz is the perfect comeback fight, but insisted rumors of a December 30 fight is far from the mark. The UFC's final show of 2017 is in Las Vegas on the last day of December, and McGregor was reported to be keen on headlining that fight night. But Kavanagh has rubbished those reports, just as Dana White did earlier in the week, and says his perfect scenario is a showdown on March 17. December 30th is definitely not happening, John Kavanagh told Mike Sheridan at the launch of the original Penguin AW17 collection. "I don't know how these things get started, but they have a certain way of gaining momentum. I can also tell you that his manager rang me this morning saying that him and Conor had been in meetings all day. Obviously, tomorrow is when we would start to consider the date." McGregor was spotted in Vegas by fans this week and has cancelled an event in London this Saturday as he continues to meet with the UFC top brass. FIGHTS 24 WINS 21 KOS 18 LOSSES 3. The fighter is recovering from his historic showdown with Floyd Mayweather, and MMA fans are eagerly awaiting his return to the UFC. And Kavanagh insisted the Diaz St. Paddy's Day fight is his own preference. "If it was my choice, and I must stress that this is only my choice, and that doesn't mean it's going to happen, it would be Nate Diaz in March," Kavanagh continued. To view this video, please enable JavaScript and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. That's what I would push towards. "I have in my head that it would be a Paddy's Day card in New York, Nate Diaz 3. I think that would be absolutely amazing. That's what I would wish for. That's what I'll be leaning towards with my 0.1% influence when I meet with Conor and Audiator tomorrow. I want Diaz 3, Paddy's Day in New York. FIGHTS 30 WINS 19 SUBMISSIONS 12 LOSSES 11 KOS 4. Kavanagh was speaking at an event with striking coach Owen Roddy and addressed calls for McGregor to face the top contenders in the lightweight division like Tony Ferguson or Khabib Nurmagomedov. "At the end of the second fight, Diaz came over, and he was very respectful to me. Behind it all there's a nod and wink and a mutual respect for the fighting," Kavanagh explained. "Now, in saying that, when it's announced, I'm sure that Conor's going to be going at him, and Nate will go back at him. At this stage, I mentioned Diaz and people are shouting, 'What about Khabib?' or 'What about Tony?' And there's Kevin Lee and some other guys. People say they're due their shot. Really, Conor doesn't have to do that anymore. He won the featherweight belt, interim and unified. He won the lightweight belt. At this stage he's only doing fights because they're fun. A big fight build-up, and to win that will do for me anyway. More Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez sold more tickets than Mayweather McGregor.